Good morning, gearheads, and welcome to episode number 2 of Phil's Garage. Once again, I'm Phil, and you can't see it, but right behind the camera is my garage. And here is the Jimmy. I think we're going to call this episode Meet the Beast. This is the Jimmy, our 1982 GMC Jimmy. We'll get into more of the specific specs on her in a little bit. The quick and dirty, she's a 1982 GMC Jimmy with a 6.2 liter naturally aspirated diesel engine and 4-wheel drive. She is dark green now. Her original paint job was kind of a maroon color and white. I'll give you the exact color code on that. But let's just do a quick walk around and show you where we're starting. So all that we've done to her so far is we put in we had the engine rebuilt about 7 years ago. It's the original engine, just rebuilt, still naturally aspirated. I know a bunch of you guys are going to be like saying, "Oh, the 6.2, it's so weak. You should put a turbo on it, put a 350 in it." I'll agree with all of you guys. It is a very weak engine, but it's very reliable. It has no problem starting as long as the battery is fully charged. Now let's look at the interior. You're going to see some trash in the back, but that's because this vehicle is primarily used for hauling trash to the dump or going to the drive-in. We have got a nice new drive-in here in Fort Worth, Texas, and we enjoy it all the time. We're actually planning on going and seeing Matt Damon's movie, The Martian. So you can see the door panel is still not on the Jimmy. We've got some window motor issues in the driver's side door, so I keep refusing to put the door panel back on just because I'm afraid that it's going to fail again, and then I'm going to have to take it all the way off again, which is exactly what happened, so not a big deal. This is the original upholstery, original seats, original carpet. The carpet has been ripped out once and power washed because I was working on this thing on a budget. You will see the dash pad. That's the #1 thing to crack in these. If you can kind of see right up in here, there's this hump right here. The dash pad was not correctly installed by us. Once again, just, you know, amateurs. Just amateurs. So let me take the ball. You can see there is no longer a needle on the speedometer. I was changing the light bulbs out behind the dash and sure enough caught my shirt on it and snapped the needle off and could not find a replacement for it. Guys, if you know where I can find one, please let me know. Everybody wanted to sell me the entire speedometer. I don't want it. Temperature gauge doesn't work. Battery doesn't work. Oil pressure doesn't work. Clock works. Fuel gauge works. And we've got a secondary oil pressure gauge down there. Guys, if you guys have got project trucks that only get driven on the weekends and such, and you're having issues with your batteries, get a battery maintainer. It has saved my life. I love it. It's no longer, you know, going out to the truck and trying to start it and hoping to God that it's still charged. You know, I leave the thing plugged in. I can plug it in right into, as you guys know, right into the lighter socket. Yeah, let's see what else. What have we done to the truck? We put in an aftermarket stereo so that I can have an auxiliary input into the stereo and play on my iPod or iPhone. We tried to redo the headliner, but like I said, we're amateurs and we didn't do it quite right, and so it's already sagging just maybe 5 years later. Ah, yes. The original 6.2 liter diesel engine. The diesel engine's rebuilt. The air conditioning doesn't work, even though we hooked it back up just for the sake of having all the components in one place. The master cylinder is new. The hydro boost is new. The mechanical lift pump, we're on our second. The fuel injection pump is new. Yeah, this thing smokes like a chimney, and it leaks oil like it's going out of style. We have identified the location of the leak. I'm not even going to try to show it to you guys. It's going to be too dark. You're not going to be able to see it. But for you guys who have these, you'll know the oil cooler lines that run between the engine block and the oil cooler that's built into the radiator. Those lines are leaking at the engine block. So thanks to that, we do our best to try to keep the oil pan where we think the oil is going to fall, but not so much, you know. And you can also see, looks like we've got a leak coming from our transmission. What I've got here on the expo board is the VIN number for the Jimmy itself, and I want to talk about how you can decode that. Now, there are a lot of resources online. The best resource that we found is actually in the front of the LMC truck catalog. If you don't have it, just Google it, and you should be able to find what you need. First, so just kind of breaking down what our VIN number is telling us. It's telling us it was made by GMC. It's got hydraulic brakes. It's four-wheel drive. Half-ton. It's a utility vehicle, meaning that it's either a Blazer or a Jimmy. It's got the 6.2 liter diesel engine. It was manufactured in 1982 in Flint, Michigan, and it was production number 510,364.